Okay, I just took these hooks out of the oven. I've already sanded these. This is my first sand. 100 grit. Just got 2 more to do. And here we go. Sometimes it's easy to sand, other times it's not. It's harder on my hands and my fingers for sure. This is the first sanding. I normally go 4 different grit sizes. This is the first one, so this is the one I get. Try to smooth it out as much as possible. Some people may comment that my hooks are a little pricey, but there's a lot that goes into it. Not just putting on clay and baking it. The supplies cost money, the time, and the wear and tear of my hands. It's all part of the pricing. As you can see, my hands are, and I put some clear polish on my nails, just kind of protect them a little bit. But I love doing them. I love the reaction people get when they receive their hooks. This is a K hook I'm working on right now. People say my hooks are really slick, and now you know why. They go through a lot of sanding. This is just step number 1. It's the last one of the set. They've all gone through, these all have gone through the first sanding already. One more to go. This is a 6-piece set, a boy set that somebody ordered, and it takes a few days just to go through the sanding, only because, especially in a set like this, is so hard on my hands. And I try to pace myself, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do any. Well, I'm gonna pause for now while I finish this hook, and then we get started on some more sanding. So this is the process I go through. I go through 100 grit, then 120, 180, and 220. And they all get all 4. I've only done 100 grit thus far. They already feel very smooth. The other grits will just make it all that much smoother. And once I am done going through the sanding process, I will then, in this case, because the clay comes all the way close to the hook, I will write the size on the clay. So once I'm done with all the sanding, I will wipe them all off, all the dust off with a wet paper towel, and then I will write the size hook they are. In this case, I'm gonna put the letters. That's how they were ordered, so that's how I will label them. If the person orders it by way of millimeter numbers, 4.0, 4.5, 5.5, then that's how I will label them. If they order them with the letter size, then I will label them with the letter. However they order it lets me to believe that that's how they refer, and that's how they know their hooks. So that is how I label them. I never ask, do you want me to label them numerically or alphabetically? I just go how they are ordered, and that's how I label them. So I'm gonna pause for a little bit, guys, while I go through all this sanding, and then we'll come back. Okay guys, this way maybe. Okay, 100, 120, 180 have been done. My hands look the part. My arm is sore. We got one more to go. Let me see if I can record. They have gone through three of the sanding. One more to go. And this one is gonna be shouldn't be too difficult. This one just kind of polishes the hook. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. So this usually is the quickest one, which is the reason why I did not keep you with the other ones, because those take a little longer. This one is kind of like the final touch. Make sure the end's nice and smooth. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. There's no rough anything. See, it's a pretty fast. This one is a pretty fast sanding. But it's still just the stuff. Because by the time you get to this point, your arm feels like it's gonna fall off. I did not show you how I put the polymer clay on the hooks, because that's pretty, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's all how you want to design it. Some people make little designs on them, other people just do a solid color. I like to marbleize my hooks with just different colors of the same family, or with different colors mixed together. So that's, you know, and then you bake it. Each, depending on the clay you buy, if it takes the temperature and the amount of time. I bake my hooks, depending on the size, anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour. And then I let them cool down. I don't like to let it cool down overnight before I start sanding, because I feel like if you let it cool overnight, the clay is that much more stronger and that much harder to smoothen out. So I like to sand it on the same day that I bake it, so that I have a better outcome when it comes to how smooth the clay turns out. I have waited overnight to sand it the following day, and I've had to do much more sanding because the clay is that much harder and more work to bring to a nice smooth finish. So yeah, so keep on going here. You're getting to see each hook. How pretty that is. I love that one. I love them all, actually. Even the hooks with the weirdest colors sometimes end up being some of the most pretty ones. Because there are times where I use leftover clay from different projects and kind of play around with them and mix and match. And I did one the other day that I thought was going to look ugly, disgusting, almost barfy looking. And actually, once it baked and once I sanded it and polished it, I'll show it to you in a minute. It came out so pretty. I really like it. It's so different. And you may not be able to appreciate it in camera, but I'll try to show it to you. Okay. 2 more to go. Try to use a part of the sanding block that is not too used to get maximum outcome from minimum work. Because by now my arm feels like it's going to fall off. Nice and slick. Can't forget the little end as well as part of the hook. So I just try to give you guys what I would expect. I don't know if that makes sense, but some people may think, oh, just make them and just sell it and that's it. But no, I don't want that. I want you guys to like and love what I make for you. I just don't want to make something that, I mean, you're paying money for it and you're paying good money for it. The least I can do is make sure you have a good product. And like anything, you know, just like the hooks we buy, they wear out. Even the ones with the rubberized, that rubber wears out after a while. And I've had a couple that actually, from where I was holding it, it literally starts almost melting from the heat of your hands, and it loses its shape. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but it's kind of weird. I don't know if just my hands are extra hot or what, but in fact, there's a couple that happened to, and what I did is I took them out of the, the rubber handle casing, and put some polymer clay on it, and that way I can keep using it. There's a couple hooks that I like, aside from the ones I make. I like, and you guys have heard me say this before, I like the ones from Hobby Lobby. The really inexpensive plastic ones. I like those a lot. And I bought these really cheap ones on Amazon not too long ago. It's kind of like a weird handle, and I kind of like those too. But for sure my favorite are my own polymer clay hooks, because when my hands are hurting, that's, well, you guys know the story. I started making these because of my own needs, so it's as smooth as it's going to get, I think. The end's also nice and smooth. The hook is not damaged at all. Let me show you that hook I was telling you guys about. Give me one second. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know if I put it in a giveaway. Pause for one moment. Okay, here it is. It's a green hook. It's a 5.0 millimeter hook. But look at this color. Let's see if I can focus it. I think that is just so pretty. It's got orange, it's got blue, it's got yellow, it's got green. I think it's just so cool. It almost looks like a planet. You know, when you see the planets, well, in pictures, and they have these lines, and I really like that. I love the way it came out. So yeah, this is going in a special pack. This is my new business cards. Not sure if you guys have seen it. Excuse my hands, they're a little bit rough looking after all this sanding, but So I'm gonna pause for a moment. I'll be right back. So this is the point where I wash my hands and get all that stuff, all the sanding dust off my hands. And what I do is with this very same rag that I've just dried my hands with, I just wipe down the hook. That's the one. That's two. That's three. 4. 5 and 6. Once again, these are the 6 hooks. So now I'm going to remove this towel and put these away right here, and remove this towel, bring a clean towel, and we'll start labeling some hooks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is a clean towel. I still got my rag here. I dusted off a little bit because actually this is my computer desk. I just cover it with, I moved my keyboard and I cover it with the towel so that I don't get too much dust. And then I try to wipe it down with the same towel that I used to clean the hooks after I'm done. So now what I do is I am going to label these hooks. This orange one is a G, and this sometimes takes a little practice, a little play with it, because sometimes they're too small, sometimes it's too big, and these points are not the best. So see, or I don't like it, so okay, this is as good as it's gonna be. I don't know if you can tell. The letter G. Now I put it facing up so it doesn't get messed up. The yellow is H. See, I messed it up, so I will do it again. And this, I go through this every time. The letter H. Make sure it doesn't roll. Then I have the green is the I. Letter I. Then we have the teal is J. And I'm gonna do it again. Well, let me do that one actually again. Sometimes it ends up being in a place where there's a lot of white, and so I kind of have to play with it. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like that either. So let's do this one. That's a little bit better. J. we have the blue, which is the K. There's some letters that give me a hard time, others that don't, and I don't know if it's because the pen is, the point is a little fat on the fat side, and then this red one is going to be L. I don't know if you guys are seeing the letters backwards, but what I will do is I will go ahead and let that dry. It actually dries pretty quickly, and then I'll give it another hand. In fact, let's see. G. H. I. J. K. And L. So once again, I'll let them sit for a little while and let them dry before I give it one more pass with the white pen, and then we will be able to start applying the finish. Now the finish, I normally give it 2 to 3 coats, and I try to let it dry overnight. I think that is the part that takes the longest. It's not the hardest, but it takes the longest because I like to leave it to dry at least for a good 8 hours. Sometimes I will do a polish. I'll polish it, not polish, but I can put the finish. If I do it in the morning, in the evening I can do another one. But if I do it like in the afternoon, like today, it's past 6 o'clock, I probably won't do another finish until tomorrow. So right now we got these beauties in process. I'm going to let them dry for a little bit before we give it another hand of the white pen, and then we will do the finish. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, so I got all these things here. You must be wondering, what in the world? Okay, so these letters are dry. Put my blocks here, all these gadgets here. And people ask, how do I get the finish? I use Sculpey gloss glaze, and this is what it is. It's a little bottle. I have another brand new one in the closet because I go through this quite fast. It's called Gloss Glaze, Brilliant Glassy, I guess in French, Brilloso Esmalte in Espanol. So just tells you to shake it, but not too hard because you don't want the bubbles. So just lightly shake it. Let me turn on the light because the sun's going down, or in fact, you know what? Let me just do this. There you go. And this is, you'll see what these little hooks are for in just a minute. I'll put these over here. So, this is where the magic happens. This is what actually makes that pattern pop. And this is the first coat. This doesn't damage the hook at all. Even if the hook gets a little bit of the glaze, it's almost like a glue. Okay, let's make sure that every part of it is covered. See what the difference, how quickly a difference just one coat does. So what I do is I use this and I pinch it like this so that, sorry, I had something in my mouth, so that it can start drying. And what I do is that I grab my board, my block, I put them in there, and that way it stays up and it begins the drying process. So we grab the next one, we do the same thing. Sometimes if there's too much, I just let it drip right off. I actually put more on purpose only because I have the fan going and I do not want it to start drying on me. Otherwise it gets tacky and the finish is not slick. Get the little end. Get a clip. Put it on the block. Get the next one. See how those colors just kind of pop out. It's amazing how the glaze just brings it to life. Also, I have to be careful too not to put too much because it can puddle or pool in areas and then it creates a bump. You see, like here, if I didn't catch that, it will dry like a bump. And we don't want that. We want it smooth. Grab another clip, and these clips I actually buy at the Dollar Tree, and they're perfect for, I have another block here. I try not to put them too close, give them their own little space to dry. And here, see how the hook got a little, just swipe that off. Make sure there's no pulling anywhere. Grab, put it down and grabbing the next one. Yeah, I'm getting towards the bottom of this bottle, and you can see why I run out of this quite quickly, because I use it pretty sparingly, only because I want to make sure that it is well covered and nice and glossy. I end up wasting a lot, but sometimes to get the outcome you want, you cannot be stingy with your products. So and finally, we have one last one. And this is just the first coat, guys, so I'm going to go through this probably another 2 times. Make sure it's nicely covered. Has to dry very well between layers. And you can already see the difference in the color. Be careful, I'm trying to show you, end up messing it up. So, and put it down. Okay, so I am done putting the glaze. Now I have my pencil here, my brush and water. This stuff right here will harden hard rock. It's so hard. That's why these are old towels that I just cut up. And now we just leave these bad boys here. To dry. Let me see if I can get the camera a little further out so you guys can see it. Oops, wrong way. There you go. And this is a little paper with my notes and my, not notes, but the order I'm working on. So guys, I will come back once these are ready and I can show you the finished product. Talk to you later. Hi guys, I'm back. Let me see if I can get some more light in here. And there comes Maxie right away wanting to be on camera. See, maybe that's a little bit better. Excuse me, mister. Okay guys, so I took you through the process that I do with my hooks to get them polished. As you could see, it's a pretty lengthy process for each hook as I go through. Once the clay is baked, I go through, let me show you a little bit. These are some just plain hooks. Basically the way that I purchased them, just basically plain, nothing on them, just your basic aluminum hooks. This is another order that was placed, and these just came out of the oven last night. As you can see, they look dull. The colors look pretty, but they look dull. There's nothing really special about them just yet. They still haven't gone through the 4 steps of sanding yet. So each one will go through the 4 steps of sanding. These I will not put the size on the handle because the size is the size millimeter size is exposed, since this person wanted the hooks just halfway. So the size is shown. No need to write it on the handle. So these won't have any writing on the handle, but they will still go through the 4 steps of sanding, which is 100 grit, 120, 180, and then finally 220 grit before we start putting the glazing on it. I did show you these hooks that I was working on. These are the ones that I was polishing, and they've gone through 3 glazes. I put the last one last night, so I'm confident these are completely dry. And we have, let me put them in order. We have G, oops, I and J. Okay, so this is the set right here. We have a G, we have an H, we have an I, we have a J. Let me move these a little bit further down so you guys can see them. And these are the 6-piece hook set that I just finished. Now you guys know that I always send my hooks in a burlap wrap, and that's just for shipping purposes, and it kind of looks cute, but if the person wants to take them out and use them, put them somewhere else, of course they can do whatever they want with their hooks. So what I do now is I will go ahead, these little things, I separate them into kind of sizes, especially when it's a set, so that, for instance, the smallest one, it goes in here, then you have the next one goes in here, the next one goes in here, and I just hope that I did not mess up, and I did. I'm going to have to recreate this and make another one, because this one I made as a 5-piece and it should have been a 6. My bad, but I will go ahead. Basically that's the gist of it. So once I mean, I could put 2 in 1, but that's not the way I do things. So I'll create another sack for it, and then what I do is that it's kind of like a little wrap. You roll it up, and then I tie it all together with my little business card and a twine bow, and then you have all your hooks all together. So I kind of just wanted to show you kind of my process. People ask me, how do you get your hooks so shiny? Now you know. I'll go ahead and save this burlap sack for another order, or separate it and use them separately. But yeah, this is how I do my hooks. This is how I pack them up, and now you know exactly what I do. So gotta get back to polishing some more hooks, the ones that I just showed you. This is kind of the way that I keep the orders. I put them in little bags like this so that I have the order with the specific instructions of what the person wanted in a little sticky note on it. You see, here's the other one, and these I have to start working on today. These have to be polished, not polished, but sanded down today, and possibly polished tonight. The first polish, the first glazing, I should say. And then it's just a matter of going through the 3-step glazing, getting them all pretty and ready to be shipped out. So I hope this was informative video. I know it may not be pleasant watching me sand away, but at least you got an opportunity to see what the process is and how I get to this point right here. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. As I always say, ciao from the Yarny Cave. I love you guys. Have a blessed day, evening, afternoon, and wherever you are in the world, God bless you and have a blessed day. Bye bye guys. Whoops, sorry. Okay guys, I redid the burlap sack. Now it's got all 6 compartments, from small to large, and just fold it up. And now we can go ahead and put this on here, and I just basically just do a bow. And it is ready to ship. That's it. That's the whole 6-piece kit. So sorry I had to do a little retake of the burlap sack, since the other one I did was only had 5 spaces. This one has the 6, and that's it. Now I can really say see you later. And once again, thank you for hanging out with me and seeing the process with the hooks. Bye guys, love you.